People keep asking me, why fragrance? Why luxury? Why now? In my 30s. Honestly, the Instagrammable version is easy. I wanted to create an experience. I wanted to make something beautiful. But the real answer is I was tired. I was tired of waiting for life to happen to me. I was tired of waiting for my life to feel like mine. I spent the whole of my 20s building somebody's dreams, climbing someone else's ladder, playing by rules that I didn't write. And I was good at it, successful even by external measures. But then every day I'll have to come back home and think, is this it? Is this what my life was going to amount to at the end of the day? So I decided to build something that was mine, something that felt like me, something that I could point out, yeah, that's me. I did that. And it had to be fragrance, not just because I'm obsessed with fragrance. Fragrance is personal. It's intimate. It's a memory. It's emotions. It's the one thing that makes you feel like the woman you're becoming. So today I'll tell you the story, the real story, not the edited, curated version of why one starts a brand. The ones that goes, okay, what the hell am I doing? Why am I building Élevé? What is it teaching me? And why you should build something of your own, even if it scares you. Because believe me, it is a scary journey. What if I told you didn't have to choose between the business and the relationship, between the money and the life, between being ambitious and being feminine? You can have it all. This is Kimmy Unfiltered, where we say what everyone's thinking but won't say out loud. Picture this, a beautiful black queen in her mid-20s climbing the career ladder. Good job, good salary, okay benefits, the whole thing. On paper, I was winning it. I was the girl that got the degree, two at that, got the job, got the promotions. I got to be a director of a company at the age of 29. My family was proud, my friends were impressed. I was happy in the moment, but in reality, I was just fine. But here's what nobody saw. Every morning, I would wake up and think, ugh, another day of building somebody else's dream. And the worst part is I had to be there to watch my time pass me by. Every project I completed was someone else's vision. And every late night I worked, trust me, they were plenty a time. That was going into somebody else's pocket as profit, not my own. But it was my sweat, blood, and tears I was building somebody else's profit. I had this voice in the back of my head telling me, this is what you're supposed to do. This is success. Be grateful. Gratitude doesn't fix misalignment. I wasn't just building somebody else's dream. I was avoiding building my own because I knew building your own can be scary. What if you fail? What if nobody cares? Do you even know what you're doing? What if I invest everything and it all burns down? So I stayed in the safe job with a guaranteed pay and okay benefits, doing the smart thing, but again, I couldn't do it anymore. I remember this like it was yesterday. I was in the middle of a meeting and I was having a conversation with the CEO and the CFO. There was something that I required from the team, and the CEO looked me dead in the eye and he was like, if we bring you that, what will your job be? Like, I wasn't doing enough as is. That was my breaking point. Within the hour of that conversation is when I resigned. And the only regret I have from that moment was not screaming in that meeting and have that dramatic movie moment where I would say, I quit. It could have been iconic. But that's neither here nor there. I had two choices at the time. Stay small, persevere whatever life throws at me, or go big and bet on myself. Risk everything and build something that was mine. I know when I say I just resigned there and then, it seems like it happened like that. These were underlining thoughts that were there a long time. But in the end, I chose me. Why fragrance? Why not choose something that was easier, like a digital product, coaching, literally anything else? It had to be fragrance, because fragrance is the one thing that has always made me feel like myself. You know that feeling when you put your favorite fragrance and you just stand a little bit taller, the day feels a little bit more beautiful, you feel more confident. That's the feeling I wanted to create for other women. Not just a product, a feeling, an experience where you remember who you are and who you're becoming. And it had to be luxury, because luxury for me means intention, care, dedication. It's about quality. It's about telling yourself, I am worth this. And it took me a while to get there, to know that I'm worth of some luxuries in life. I always thought I should reach for the cheaper option, the good enough version. But in my 30s, that's when I stopped settling. I told myself I deserve it. I wanted the good thing. I'm gonna create it for myself and for other women who want it too. So that's the what? The luxury candles, the luxury diffusers, the luxury home fragrance, fine fragrance. The goal was always to make products that make you feel. But the why was bigger. Because I refuse to turn 40, 50, 60 thinking, what if I had bet on myself? What if I chose me? I'm building this because I want my future self to stop on a truck one day and look back and say, I did this. I was scared, but I did it anyway. I'm building this because I want to show other women, especially Black women, women in their 30s, women that think it's too late, that it is not too late. You can start now. You can build now. You can definitely bet on yourself now. The deepest truth is I'm building Élevé because I want to prove it to myself that I can do this. And that's the real reason. That's my grounding why. So let me tell you the real tea that they do not show you on Instagram when it comes to building a brand. Building a brand isn't about aesthetic photos or day in a life of a CEO content. Boss babe. It's like the 1% of the whole building branding process. But it's not always glamorous. It's not always Instagrammable. It's exhausting and it's terrifying. Let me paint you the real picture. You're figuring it out as you go. I didn't know how to source for manufacturers. I didn't know how to price the product. So I learned, I asked questions, I took classes, I made mistakes. And the funniest part is I am still learning every single day. There's no manual for this. You just do this every single day imperfectly until someday you wake up and everything clicks. Reality number 2 is the scariest. You're investing money where you're not even sure if it will come back to you. Yeah, that happens. So let's talk numbers for a second. Product development, 1,000 plus. Manufacturing minimum, another thousands. Branding, packaging, marketing, product shoots. Those are thousands and thousands going in. And you're investing all of this before making any single sale or even a guarantee that you make any of this money that you're injecting into this. 3 was the easiest pill to swallow. You were working 47 jobs, sometimes 3 at a go. This was the only learning experience that I took from the corporate. At any given time, I'll be the founder, the marketer, the creative director. Some days I'm researching, some days I'm sourcing ingredients, some days I'm responding to DMs at 11 p.m. When you're jumping into building your own brand, the concept of work-life balance goes out of the window, and then you find yourself doing this work-life integration because that becomes your life. And some days that integration does look like chaos. Reality number 4, people will doubt you. Some people will question you. Are you sure this is a good idea? Isn't the market saturated? What if it doesn't work? Maybe you should just keep your job. No, Susan, maybe I shouldn't keep my job. Some of the people that will bring out these doubts are people that love you. They are not trying to hurt you. They are people who are thinking they're there for you, but they're using their life experience on you. But as you go through this, remember this, their fear cannot be your roadmap. You have to believe in yourself when other people don't, especially when other people do not believe in you. Reality number 5, it's gonna be the hardest thing you're ever gonna do, and you're gonna love it anyway. Building Élevé, it's hard. I have hard days. I have stressful days. There are days that I'm overwhelmed. There are days where I ask myself, what the hell was I thinking? But even on days like that, I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. I'm building something that is mine, something that I'm proud of, something that reflects me. What are the lessons that I've acquired and I'm still acquiring from building Élevé? You do not need to have everything figured out. The hardest thing you're gonna do is just start. I thought I needed the perfect plan, the perfect strategy, the perfect team, the perfect everything. But here's the reality. Perfectionism is just procrastination in a fancy outfit. You don't need to know everything. You just need to know your current goal and your next step. And then you figure out the next step after that and the step after that, and the list goes on. Imperfect actions beat perfect inactions any day of the week. Your capacity expands when you give yourself something worth expanding for. I thought I didn't have time to build a business because I was already busy with work, with life, with everything. But then I learned you don't find time, you make time for things that are worth it to you. And no, this doesn't mean like you're superhuman or anything. You are just that motivated. You're not dragging yourself through a corporate task list. You are building your own damn thing. Lesson number 3, done is better than perfect. And that's saying a lot coming from me because I'm a perfectionist. I want everything to be flawless before I can share it. But what I noticed is perfectionism will keep you stuck forever. So I had to learn, launch before I was ready, post before it was perfect, share it before before I thought it was good enough. Because good enough that exists beats perfect that has never seen the light of day. Number 4, you become who you are by building, not waiting. I used to think when I'm more confident, then I'll start the business. When I have more money is when I will invest. When I know more is when I will launch. But then I figured out confidence doesn't come before action, it comes after. You do not become a founder by thinking about it. You become a founder by doing it. You build the business, you learn as you go, you mess up, you clean up, you take ownership, you iterate, and then you keep going over and over and over again. And then one day you wake up and you realize, I'm not trying to be a founder, I am the founder. I built the damn thing. Building something you're proud of is worth the risks. At the end of the day, this is what it comes down to. I would rather risk everything building something I am proud of rather than playing it safe building somebody else's dream. I would rather fail at something I care about than succeed in something that I do not care about. That's why I'm building Élevé. Not because it's easy, not because it's safe, not because it's guaranteed, but because it's mine. So here's what I want you to take away from this episode. You don't need to build a fragrance brand. You don't need to quit your job. You don't need to do what I'm doing, but you do need to build something that is yours. Something that excites you, something that terrifies you, but most importantly, something that makes you feel alive. Maybe it's a business, maybe it's a creative project, maybe it's a portfolio, maybe it's a skill you're learning. Whatever it is, just start. Not when you have more time, not when you are more ready, and definitely not when the stars are aligned. Start now, imperfectly, scared, without all the answers. Because here's the truth, your 30s aren't about waiting. They are for taking risks, they are for betting on yourself, they are for becoming the woman you always knew you're destined to be. And yes, it is scary, and yes, people will doubt you, and yes, you're gonna have hard days. More hard days than you're ever gonna count. But you know what's more scary? Getting at the end of the road knowing that you didn't even give yourself a fighting chance. You didn't even bet on yourself. Élevé launches in a month. I'm terrified, I'm excited, and I'm still doing it anyway. And I want you to do it too. Not for me, but for yourself. If you wanna see where the journey takes us, come hang out with us at House of Élevé on TikTok and Instagram. Tell a friend, tell a friend. And that's it for today's episode. Remember, you can actually have it all. You don't need to apologize for it. I'm Kimmy, and this is Kimmy Unfiltered. If this episode hit home, share it with somebody who needs to hear it the most. Until next Thursday, bye!